So I'm sick, which is very exciting. And because of that, I have been here for the past few days, just kind of sitting at home, resting, relaxing, lots of sniffling, lots of blowing my nose, and the occasional coughing fit. All very standard stuff. And maybe it's because I cool kid summered a little too close to the sun. Or because that guy coughed in my face. It was probably the guy. But nonetheless, here we are. I'm trying to rest and relax. And, that means that we're shifting away for a brief minute from our regularly scheduled programming. Oh, and I'm sorry to report that Russ is also sick. Yeah, I just didn't want to do this alone. And so you're not going to get any special Russ and you guys explore, no special episodes for this particular bout of illness. But I did want to check in with you and just share some little tidbits of information, a little bit of housekeeping, if you will, since I'm just here, So grab yourself a box of tissues, get a comfy blanket to wrap yourself up with, and let's dig in. So first, I want to talk a little bit about communication, the communication that we do back and forth, because I got this really interesting update from YouTube that informed me that now you guys can post to our YouTube channel on our little community page as well. So if you're not familiar, if you go to our YouTube channel, you can find this page, this little tab, and if you click on that tab, there's a feed of information that we've posted. Sometimes it's just text. Sometimes I'll pop a link in there. Sometimes there's an image. It's our way of communicating with you in a way that isn't a YouTube video. And it's fun. It's fun for putting little details here, or every now and again, I should say. But it's one-way communication unless you choose to comment. But now it has changed. So you can actually post in that feed as well. So if you get something on your mind, you get a question, you have a conversation that you'd like to start, something you want us to talk about, you can now just pop that in there. And that's pretty cool. I think that that's great. I say all the time that this is a conversation and I really mean it. This is a conversation between all of us. And so having another way for you to start that conversation, I think that that's fantastic. So you can do that here, as well as obviously in the comment section. You can always post wherever it is that you want to post. And I will see it more likely than not. Sometimes comments that come through are weird and I have a hard time seeing them. So if you've posted something, you've asked me a question or whatever, and I've ignored you, it's not that I've ignored you, more likely than not. It's that I didn't see your comment for some weird reason. I try to go through everything and I try to respond to everyone, but I'm only human. So that's pretty cool. I think that that's an interesting update. Looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say, if anything's on your mind. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll be a feature you guys like, maybe it won't. Either way, it's cool that it's there. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you about was actually about communication as well, but also more specifically about our website. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but we have a website. We started it however many years ago, and we've not used it as much recently as we had initially intended to. Times change. People's interests change. And so the long and short of this section of discussion is that we're going to be eliminating the website. We're going to be taking the website down. For some of you, this means nothing. And great. But there are some of you who contact us through our website, through the contact form. And I think it's really convenient because it's easy to find. You click a link and you're good to go. But it's also a nice way to contact us if you want to do that privately, anonymously, not sharing your comments or thoughts or whatever with the rest of the world. And, I've been thinking long and hard about whether or not this is something that we really wanted to do. We've been tossing around the idea of getting rid of the website for, honestly, a couple of years now. But the time is right. We've made the decision. And I want those of you who contact us through the website to know that you are not like going to be cut off. You have plenty of other options. Now, if I can just run through them with you really quick, you can email us. That's a great option. You can always send us snail mail. You know, you can send us mail through the post because we do have a P.O. box, or it's not technically called a P.O. box. We have an address. You can mail us things too. But you can also contact us through Instagram as well, if that's something that you're interested in. And of course, you know, chat back and forth with us through comment sections and in this new like post thing that's available on our YouTube channel. Information on how to do all of that is going to be on our website. So I haven't updated it quite yet, but if you happen to click through to the website, you're going to be met with a page that basically says like, hey, you can contact us in this way. I'm also going to update the end slate of our videos. This one won't be updated because, you know, here we are, but I will be updating that in the near future to reflect that you can email us or you can send us mail or contact us in whatever other way. So know that you can still get in touch with us. You can still message us in a way that you're most comfortable with. It's just not going to be through that link that you previously had access to. So I apologize for any inconvenience. I'm sorry if this like changes the vibe for anybody, but I appreciate your understanding in this shift away from the website. Outside of communicating with us through the website, we also have some other information up there that is going to obviously disappear when the website is gone. A lot of it is older stuff that I would argue is kind of outdated, but there are some things that are on there that might be useful to you, for example. I'm going to make sure that that's accessible in another way, whether it is through our community page on the YouTube channel, or if I find another way to share like documents or whatnot with you. I've been thinking about it. I haven't settled on anything, but as soon as I know what I decide to go with, as soon as that decision has been made, I will let you know about it. So stay tuned. Last but not least, the least favorite of all the topics that I wanted to talk to you about today. So I've been running into technical issues, which I talked a little bit about in some of our past videos. You've seen me like do some voiceover while I'm just talking silently on the screen. My microphones have been just one problem after another recently, and it's kind of exploded into an actual issue that needs to be resolved by the company that makes my microphones. I mentioned something about this on social media. On Instagram, I made a short about it saying that, you know, behind every successful shot is a piece of equipment that has commitment issues. And that is so true. It has definitely been true when it comes to this particular set of microphones that I'm working with. Now, normally I don't talk about the equipment that I use for a few different reasons. And at the top of that list of reasons is because I don't like giving opinions on things until I have formed a solid opinion. A lot of people, they start using equipment, they do whatever it is that they're doing, and then after like one use or like a week of use, they're like, wow, this is the best thing ever, or here's my thoughts on this. And it's like, you can't really give anyone your full review of a thing based on that, you know? Especially not when we're talking about things like equipment, things that you're gonna use and abuse. But for those of you who are wondering, if you're curious at all, I am currently using Rode Wireless Pro microphones. Now, I've had other iterations of this product, and they've all been terrible. The quality of the sound is great. You guys love the quality of the sound. I think the sound is really good. But they are the most unreliable microphones I've ever used, and I've used a lot of microphones in my time, and these are just, I've just never had equipment fail so quickly as these do, and so like catastrophically as these do. Now, I'm currently using one of those microphones. There's multiple mics in the set, but one of them is down for the count. So I do need to send that back, and hopefully that can get fixed and replaced, and we'll be back in business soon. Until that happens, I am going to not have these microphones that I normally have, which means sound might be a little bit different. The way I do videos might have to be a little bit different, especially when I'm in certain environments that are really loud. I appreciate your understanding in this. I'm kind of like a rock and a hard place because I definitely want to replace the microphones that I am currently using with another set that is from a more reliable company. I already have my eye on what I want. I am already familiar with that company. They are not cheap. And so it is a decision. And I don't want to just like swipe the credit card and be like, yeah, sure. I want to take a second to get these back and give them another chance, give myself a little bit more time to recoup funds of doing things like renewing my annual passes before I make another big purchase. So please understand that things might sound a little bit different. I'm not going away from having like a higher quality audio setup, but I am waiting on it to return. So cross your fingers for me that all goes smoothly. I'm hoping to send these out soon, but with me feeling the way I am, I don't know if I can like get to the post office right this second, you know? So I'm gonna just give myself the time that I need to get squared away, send that off, and we'll make do with whatever it is that we have. And I do have other equipment that I can use until these come back. So we'll see. But like I said, thanks for your understanding in that. But yeah, I think that is about it. There are so many other things that we could be talking about right now. Lots of news has been coming out of Disney, lots of opinions to share. You know, there are so many things that you guys have sent to me. I've been responding to comments for the past few days on our video talking about like drinking and alcohol in the parks. And I could sit down here and chat with you about that forever. But we're going to save that for another day. For now, though, thank you for hanging in there with me. And thanks for, just being here. I appreciate you. I really do. But for now, I'm off. I am going to make myself a cup of tea and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to just relax so that I can heal up and be ready for the next adventure, which is going to hopefully be over to Magic Kingdom so we can have a cool kid summer there. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your day and I'll see you guys soon.